What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Empire Radio Podcast. I'm Andrew,
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
and today we're talking about Order 66 and what happened. What would have happened if it failed?
Ooh.
So kind of a cantina discussion a little bit, but this is one of the two questions that were asked to us from the Ask Us Anything episode we did back in March that we kind of put aside and tabled for a little while to be their own episode. So here we are. We did the first one 2 weeks ago, was it? Right? The
Yes.
mind trick
Yes.
being ethical.
Yes.
And then today we're doing the second one. So we're going to be talking about Order 66, and we're going to be talking about it, walking through it together, making decisions, theorizing. It's going to be a lot of fun. But first, we have some things that we need to discuss that are very important. One of which, if you hadn't heard, we have merch now.
Ooh. That's exciting.
Yes, it's very exciting. It's very exciting because this is a phenomenal way for anyone that's out there listening to do two things simultaneously. One, rep your favorite Star Wars podcasts, because I know we are. Two, support us directly. So there is a certain percentage of this that goes straight to us, and it does help do more projects for this podcast. It goes directly back into supporting us do what we do. So if you have the ability to and you want to support us, that's a great way to do so. Head over to EmpireRadioTradingPost.com, and it's EmpireRadioTradingPost.com. We have a lot of stuff on there, including a special design done by a really good friend of mine and Drew's, Matt DeCenzo. He is a Minneapolis local artist. He's phenomenal. I'm blanking on his Instagram handle, but I'm pretty sure it's like Drew, do you know
Descendo.
it's like m.decenzo.
I should find it.
Anyways, Empire Radio is following him. I'm like 99% sure that we're following him on Instagram. So
Correct.
go check out his stuff. He's
We did tag
incredible.
him in the post,
Yeah.
the merch post, so you can go click on his link. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
you
had
can-
to get
you
the.
can do that. Yeah. That's all good. So yeah, the design with the Darth Vader and the Stormtroopers is his design, and purchases that are made with that design on them actually go to supporting him as well as an artist. So please consider doing that if you have the ability to. Next, we do have social media. If anybody's surprised by this at this point,
Hello
It
there.
just
Well, it
means
might
you're
be their
new.
first time.
yeah. I mean, it probably means you're new, and
Yeah.
welcome. If you're new, welcome. We appreciate you being here. So we are on Instagram and Facebook at Empire Radio Podcast. At Empire Radio Podcast. We're on YouTube, Empire Radio, a Star Wars podcast. We are on Twitch, twitch.tv/Empire Radio. And we have a Discord. And the last two of those are really important, especially important, because we do stream the recording of these episodes on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern-ish, because most of the time we're like 5 or 10 minutes late. But we're not going to talk about that right now. And we are now also streaming on Fridays at the same time, Friday nights, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the releases of the Bad Batch episodes. So we're going to be doing a deep dive every Friday until the Bad Batch Season 1 is finished for those. And the Discord, it's pretty much the place you want to be if you like the podcast and you want to discuss things with other Star Wars fans. It's a party.
Yeah. I got home today and there was like 500 messages. It was just insane.
Yeah,
So,
it was pretty crazy. We just added Discord factions that you can assign to yourself in different colors and stuff, and it was popping. I was chatting with people earlier today at like 10 a.m. or something, and then I got off and got back on at like 2, and I had 150 missed messages. So it's popping off. It's a lot of fun. We've got a lot of great people in there, some of which you're going to hear from tonight.
Correct.
ooh.
So if you want to join our Discord, there is a pinned post on our Facebook page, and there is a link within the link in our bio on Instagram where you can join the Discord. You do have to use that link to join, though. So if you want to, head on over. It's a lot of fun. People are great. They're very inviting. You know, there's no bullying, nothing like that. It's just a party all the time. We all have glasses of blue milk. There's like a tauntaun wearing like one of those Hawaiian leis in like a flower print shirt walking around in the background. It's a lot of fun.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah, I didn't see that
Yeah,
one either.
it's like an office party,
Mm.
essentially.
The Office, that's a good show.
Yeah, it is a really good show. So, anyways, now we are going to transition to what is becoming my favorite part of these episodes, voicemail time. It's a lot of fun. So, if you don't know, if you're new or you've somehow missed this part, there is a link in the link in our Instagram bio, and underneath whatever podcast streaming service you're listening to this episode on, where you can click it and you can leave us a 1-minute voicemail. And we've had great success. We've had voicemails, most of the time, multiple voicemails every single week. And we listen to them on air and answer your questions or react to what is said in the voicemails. So I love doing this. We love hearing from all of you. So if you want to send us a voicemail, please do, because right now we don't have any for next week.
And we're only doing them on Tuesdays.
Correct. We
Yes,
had to
we
change
switched
that
it up.
recently. Yeah, we had to switch it up because we realized that the deep dive Bad Batch episodes, we run the risk of them going too long if we do the deep dive plus the voicemails, because normally the voicemails are like mini cantina discussions in and of themselves. So anyways, we're going to transition over to voicemail time. And I am really excited about this because we have a new little jingle.
Ooh.
Are you ready?
Yes. Let's get it.
Yes.
Oh.
It's like the TIE Fighter, but for voicemail time.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited
Exactly what we should do.
Okay, so we're going to start this. We got a voicemail. We're not going to be playing it, but we are going to be answering questions on air. And we got a voicemail from one of our longtime listeners, stream watchers, and Discord members, Ara, who also goes by Hold My Tea. Pretty much any different versions of stuff with tea in it. She's in
likes
the chat right now.
She likes tea.
Hey, tea's great.
Tea is dope.
My wife loves tea.
Tea is good. It's good for you too. Jeremiah, do you like tea?
Yeah.
I have. I can't remember the last time I had tea.
Oh.
So.
All right.
I don't drink hot beverages, so. Like once or twice a winter, I'll have
hot chocolate,
but that's just like the powder, and you add the water. I think that's all it is. So.
Andrew's so disappointed.
Anyway,
right
back
now.
to the
I'm
question.
so disappointed. Anyways, okay, so she left each of us a question. So Jeremiah had a question, I had a question, and Drew had a question. And she asked it in that order. So Jeremiah, your question was, do you remember it?
It was, what is it about Star Wars that I like so much, or something along those lines,
Yes.
right? So, and she's like, is it like, she kind of lists, is it the writing, is it the characters, is it the whatever, so.
Well, we know it's not the first half of A New Hope, so we can rule that one out.
Right. So I think when it comes to stuff that I enjoy for like TV and movies, is I like superhero, supernatural, magic type things, because it's just like.
And you haven't seen Harry Potter?
I just haven't gotten around to it.
Oh my
Bro,
god.
you got to get around to it.
I'm not against it. I just haven't gotten to it. I don't want to have to pay like $5 to watch each movie.
Okay,
Or
Jeremiah,
something like
I
that.
will give you
So-
my login to my. I forget the site. What's the Vim? It starts with a V. What's that? When you download Vimeo? No, not Vimeo.
What?
Voodoo.
Voodoo. Yes, Voodoo.
Oh.
I'll give you my Voodoo login, Jeremiah. We have the whole trilogy. You can binge watch it.
Trilogy. There's like 8 movies.
Okay, whatever.
there's
the whole thing, all of them.
Oh, 7 books.
So,
8
okay.
movies.
Anyway, back to the question. So, I like superpowers. I like all that stuff in shows, because like it's kind of boring here in this world. Like we just have to like obey the laws of physics, and we can't like move stuff with our minds and stuff. Like it's kind of boring. So it's cool to watch stuff with supernatural things or just super
That's fair.
intense things that like don't exist here. So that's why I like superhero movies. I like watching things like Stranger Things on Netflix and stuff,
Ooh,
just because it adds
Stranger Things so good.
cool things. So I think the reason I like Star Wars is because of, first and foremost, like the concept of the Force. Like I just enjoy the Force aspect of moving things and how it like the Jedi and all that stuff. But I also just love the story as well, especially the prequel era story. I just think that's the best storyline ever. Like, I just love the Clone War like concept of Palpatine playing both sides, and it's like we're talking about Order 66, like his plan of Order 66, like all that stuff. I just love the story of Anakin. I just like lightsaber duels from the whatever. Like I just like that aspect of the Force and the story, and so
Cool.
yeah.
Sweet, man. All right. Well, thank you for that. My question was, what is my favorite musical moment or like motif in all of Star Wars? I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before.
Well, we did a whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I'm pretty sure I said this, but I love talking about it. So I don't mind talking about it 1,000 more times. The Force theme. So, and or binary sunsets, depending on which version you pull it from. But it's the Force theme motif that I first experienced when Luke, in the first half of A New Hope, which Jeremiah does not like, is standing on the hill looking out at the binary sunset, and it plays for the first time. And I don't know what it is about that theme, but like every time it's used, it's always so inspiring to me. I mean, not to mention every time it's used, it's also normally an inspiring moment in the films, but like it always signifies someone rising into their power or gaining the upper hand, or like the forces of good winning. I don't know what it is, but like ever since I was a kid, that was the one that stood out to me. Like I like that one more than any other motif in all of Star Wars, even Duel of the Fates.
Me too.
Like Duel of the Fates is, as
pretty
we would
good.
say on the podcast, a banger. But like that one to me is the one that I love the most.
That's fair.
And
Yeah.
was it back in like November? I think is when we did our 2 Music of Star Wars podcasts.
Yeah.
So if you missed those, go back and listen to those episodes.
Yeah.
And no, she just put in the chat, I'm so sorry I asked that question again. Please don't be.
Oh no,
Like,
it's fine.
Like I love talking about the music of Star Wars. Like there's no shame at all here. So yeah, the Force theme. Second runner up. Here's a freebie. Duel of the Fates. Third runner up, maybe Rey's theme.
Ooh.
I really
Well,
like.
we did our top 5 themes, so don't ruin
well,
it
guess
now.
what? You're getting it again because it's
Oh.
probably not even the same.
It's
probably
definitely
two.
not the same. I'm
Our
pretty
top
sure
fives
Ray
are
theme
hardly
was not.
ever the same. Yeah.
That's fair.
Anyways,
I don't
Maybe we
even
should do
remember.
another movie ranking again. Let's see how that changes.
Ooh.
Last
maybe-
Jedi's still the worst.
Yep, for sure. I was gonna say
mean-
maybe they should add a new movie, then we can do it again. But we'll wait for them.
We'll have to wait until 2023 for that one.
Yep.
So
3 or 4.
23
23.
last time I checked.
It'll change.
Good old Rogue Squadron.
Yep.
But yeah, Era, please don't ever feel bad.
No,
about
it-
answering that question or asking that question.
A lot of these questions probably will be duplicate if it has to do with Star Wars, but we still want the voicemail, so don't worry about it. Don't make that scare you from sending us a voicemail.
Now, Drew, speaking of
Questions.
speaking of voicemails, you listened to this and you remember your question, right?
I was going to listen to it last night,
Uh-huh.
and I had the biggest migraine of my life. My head was pounding because I forgot to drink caffeine. And as everyone knows, I'm addicted to
Yeah.
caffeine, and
So
so
am
it was rough. It was like bad. So I did not listen to it because I was trying not to. Yeah. Anyways, what's my question, Andrew?
Your question is what your favorite creature is in all of Star Wars.
Tauntaun.
I didn't know if it changed.
No, heck no, dude.
It's always
It's
Tauntaun.
always
You said,
Tauntaun.
What are you, an idiot? No, it's Tauntaun. It's always Tauntaun.
Tauntauns or monkey lizards, also a really good one. I love
Koiki and monkey lizards.
Koiki and
So-
monkey lizards.
So my question is, why Tauntauns?
Because I got to see the inside of it.
All right.
I don't know. if you guys don't know, that was like one of my favorite scenes in all of Star Wars. So for me, like I don't know, I love Tauntauns. If I can, didn't we talk about how if I could go into Star Wars and grab anything, it would be a Tauntaun. I would just
I think that was one of our AUA
yeah.
questions.
So
You could
for
take one
sure.
thing, and I asked,
You
can we
asked
take a person?
if you
And
could
you guys
steal
like,
someone.
"Whoa."
If you could physically steal someone, and I just said I want a Tauntaun so I can ride a Tauntaun. But so yes,
Yeah,
Tauntauns.
Era did say, but the Loth Wolves.
Wolf wolves
I
are
would
pretty cool.
argue that they might be my favorite,
They are pretty cool.
They're pretty
but that's
cool.
not what we're here for. Anyways, Drew,
That is
again,
not.
I say you need to read Red Harvest
I know.
because
Dude,
there is
there's so many
literally
books
a
I need to read right
zombie
now.
Tauntaun who has a zombie Sith student
Don't-
incubating in its stomach.
This, you are making me so happy right now. Just stop.
See, now that's anybody is hearing this for the first time out of context are like, dude, what did I just step into? Okay, so anyways, that was the 3 questions from Ara. Thank you so much for sending that in. We really appreciate it, especially from someone who's been here for a really long time now on the Discord, listening
Yeah.
and
Yes.
being on the stream. So thank you so much. Okay, moving on. We have another voicemail from Simon. You guys ready?
Simon, yes, let's get it.
Here we go.
Hello, it is me, Simon, again, and I wanted to ask you guys a quick question, and that is, what is your thoughts on the Old Republic, which is like 3,000 years before the Skywalker saga? So, what do you want it to be like if it were to be like canon, like if the story was? Do you want it to be a Disney Plus show, movie? What do you want? And yeah, thank you. Bye.
Simon with those EU questions coming in hot.
Thank you, Simon. my heart is warm.
Simon, if you want to kiss up to anyone, just throw EU stuff,
the way-
and
this is the way you're gonna
that's the
do it.
way to do it.
Does anybody want to go before me?
I'll go.
Okay. I know it would be Jeremiah. No offense.
I would love to get, because I've gone through and watched all the trailers or the cuts
Cinematic
for
trailers,
yeah, all that stuff for the Knights of the Old Republic and all that stuff. And I've dabbled and played the game, and I like it. It's really sweet and fun. I would love to get a live action Disney Plus Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau show of that.
Sick.
That would be I think that would be freaking dope.
Yeah, Mithron just put in the chat they need to make a show adaptation of the Darth Bane trilogy.
Yeah, that would be yeah.
It would be elevated to my favorite thing in all of Star Wars if they did it well. Hands down.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it. Hands down. I mean, like, y'all know that I love the Old Republic. I think the Old Republic has so many interesting things because there were so many like OP Jedi and Sith Lords.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you have the story of Bane, which I think is for me personally, the most interesting part of the Old Republic because he single-handedly wipes out the Sith, which is not a spoiler. Like, he wipes out the Sith and creates the rule of 2. And is arguably the most powerful Sith Lord, depending on the way you look at their powers. Anyways, super good trilogy. If you're looking for a place to start in the Old Republic with the expanded universe, that's a great place. Also, the Old Republic includes Revan, and we all know how I feel about Revan.
True.
So I'm not going to get into that again, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And Simon, thank you for a voicemail and helping me to remember how much I love the Old Republic. I'm really excited about the new KOTOR remaster and or port. I'm not sure which one they're going with, but I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be playing that nonstop when it happens because I loved that game. Loved it. All right.
Well, are you gonna let me go or?
Jeremiah, do you want to go?
Yeah, I'm part of this podcast.
He's like, I don't
So-
want it. It's not you. I don't want you.
So I've seen the trailers for the games. Like I've watched those a million times. I think they're great. I thought that's what we were gonna get instead of the High Republic stuff. And so like I was excited for the Old Republic, but like the High Republic is what we got. So I don't know anything really about the story at all from the Old Republic stuff. So like I don't really know what to go off of. But
Yeah.
Besides the trailers, anyways.
beside the trailers, and so I think it would just be cool to see an even more primitive way of life. Because if the High Republic is when they're starting to expand hyperspace lanes, if you're going back another 2,600 years, there might not be any or no, like very few hyperspace lanes. So like you can't just escape a battle by going to hyperspace. Like you have to actually like do everything. So it would change the dynamic of how the reality of what people can do around the galaxy changes. And so seeing that would be a cool way of hyperspace not being a thing, and then just seeing a very primitive type Jedi that aren't as well developed as we see in the High Republic or something. But
So
I think
you're
it'd be cool.
talking Canon Old Republic?
Huh?
Are you talking about like
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say because the Old Republic is they were like arguably more advanced than they were in the original trilogy technology wise, but it's scrapped now.
Yeah.
Why would they be higher advanced and then they digress to?
I don't know.
I don't know. That was one thing that it was always kind of weird to me, was that the Old Republic was better. They had better technology besides the lightsabers, right? Because the lightsabers originally were like backpacks lightsabers.
I mean that was the proto sabers were like way back there.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Sorry, Jeremiah. Thank you for voicing your opinion. I appreciate
You're welcome.
it. We've got another voicemail from one of our Discord users, and I cannot for the life of me remember how to pronounce their Discord name. You're gonna know who it is the second.
Are they
you
in the
say it.
chat?
I don't know.
There's 16 people in here, so who knows?
But here we go. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello, Empire Radio. This is who is known as Zarnotopius Hypnar III in your Discord. Kind of a long story about that name. But anyways, I just wanted to leave a quick message saying I love everything you guys do, and it's really been a blast listening to you guys. I know you're a small podcast. I hope you grow soon. Thank you for doing everything you do for the Star Wars community and creating a great set of vibes for all of us. I was just curious, what are your thoughts on Boss Nass from The Phantom Menace? I know you've talked about Jar Jar a lot, but I wanted to know what you thought about Boss Nass. Also, I have an Instagram and a TikTok account for saber spinning, which I just started. It's stylish.saber.spinner. So go check that out if you're interested. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Ooh.
That's really cool.
That is
actually.
dope. Like, I don't TikTok.
Stylish.saber.spinning.
Yes.
Go check it out.
If someone in the chat wants to throw that link in there, that'd be dope. Because I would love to click it.
Tanner comes out of the woodwork.
Sabers?
Saber. You're gonna be Tanner's best friend now.
Tanner, if you want to go find that and throw that in the chat, that'd be dope. Who wants to go first? Jeremiah?
Yeah, go ahead, Jeremiah.
So he's only in episode 1. So
I'm pretty sure he's in Clone Wars like once.
Really? I don't even remember him. Like, I don't really think much of him. I never even crossed my mind until I watch it in the movie. So like, I'm sorry if he's your favorite character, but he doesn't.
By the way, Mithron said he is in episode 3 at Padme's funeral.
Of course he
Okay.
is.
So
Oh, I guess maybe. Yeah, I guess I can't remember that. So he's just a weird, crazy guy that has a big, giant double chin that shakes when he
Well, I mean,
does his thing.
he runs them, right? Like,
yeah, well he's the boss.
He's the main guy.
Boss Nass.
He's pretty dope.
Sorry, what was that?
Uh,
Okay.
how does he do his laugh?
Alright.
How does his laugh go? Anyone wants to attempt his laugh?
No, I
I'm
can't
not
even
doing
think of it.
that
All right.
was my.
So yeah, I haven't really put much thought into this. I think he's pretty cool. I like him a lot more than Jar Jar.
What if he was the real Sith Lord,
Now, that is a theory.
and
Everyone
Jar Jar
knows-
was his Padawan?
Yeah, everyone knows I don't like
Ooh.
the Darth Jar Jar theory.
Yeah.
But Darth Nass, I'd be here for that.
That's nasty.
Okay. I'm not gonna say it.
Sorry, I'm going down a path that no one can follow.
You're correct. You're breaking my heart. Speaking of jokes, are we good for Boss Nass?
We are, but I'm gonna throw this on the screen real quick. If you are listening, there is the spinning on the Instagram. That's pretty dope.
Oh, sweet. Speaking of jokes, we have our third voicemail from Riley, who has a joke for us. So that was a good segue. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Riley again, and well, I said I'd do this voice message as a cheesy Star Wars dad joke, so here it goes. Why is Yoda so good at gardening? Because he has a green thumb.
Okay. All right. Dad joked for the win.
Get out.
No. Ooh. I'm pretty sure he's in the chat. Don't get out.
Yeah. Well, I told him that I was going to say get out.
A lot of people are
and I
spamming
didn't-
get out.
Yeah.
Or oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts?
Does he have thumbs? Like, is that?
That's a
Yeah,
thing.
he's got
Yeah.
thumbs. How does he
Yeah,
hold
but
his
he has
lightsaber?
3 fingers, right?
How does he hold his lightsaber?
So that means he has 2 thumbs and 1 finger.
And, no,
No,
he has one
he has
thumb
one
and
thumb.
like this.
Because they're aren't they equally distance apart? So it's like
I swear he has like the Ninja Turtle hand. That's what he has. Like that's his hand right here.
I can't
It's a
do
Ninja
that
Turtle
thing at all.
You can't?
You can't.
No.
Your midichlorian count must be low.
Ooh.
Or
Gee.
my
Or your Star Trek
knowledge
hand
not
is
as high as
That's
yours.
good because
that's
we're not
good
talking about Star
because
Trek
that is not a thing that we like.
here. Hey, but Riley, thank you for that. In all seriousness, I enjoy a good dad joke.
Yes, dad jokes for
We
the
all-
win.
We all do.
I need to start taking notes on dad jokes and just have them like in my pocket. Because if you guys don't
I
know,
don't think you. I think that when you become a dad, it just
just
automatically
happens.
It flows out of you.
That'd be
Your-
dope.
Your
It's
dad
like
joke
the Force
midichlorian count
Awakens.
to sky. Yes.
Yeah, but it's the dad jokes awaken.
I hope that's a
For
thing.
those of you that don't know,
If you don't know now,
yeah,
Um,
Drew's gonna become a dad.
yes,
Well,
in
he
September.
is a dad.
Well, I'm a dad to a baby that's in his stomach. But yes,
Yep.
yeah.
Surprise! Have a little
Burn, burn,
baby
burn,
empire
burn, burn,
member.
burn.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, why not? thank you.
All right.
And-
Well, let's. That's it for voicemails. Let's fly on over and talk about Order 66, shall we?
Order 60.
Yep.
All right, here we go. All right, we're talking about Order 66. It only took us,
Half hour.
yeah.
Hey, that was a
29
lot of
minutes and
voicemails.
40 seconds to get here.
People are.
This is why we're not going to do them during the Bad Batch episode.
Correct.
Because
So you have exactly a week to send more voicemails because we are out now. You
Yep,
have
we have
exactly
no
a week to
voicemails.
send more voicemails, so go ahead, do it. Also, my kid's name is not going to be Luke, so you guys can stop spamming that in the chat because the kid is not going to say you are my father or anything like that. So
Yeah.
all right.
All right, so let's talk about Order 66 and if it failed. What would happen if it failed? So I know there've been a lot of videos. I'm pretty sure Star Wars Theory has one. and
Yeah.
there are a lot of other ones. I haven't seen them in a while, so that's good because I don't really have any of those things in my head going into this. So the first question that I want to ask you guys is we need to decide on what it would mean to fail, right? Because there could be a few different possibilities. Like one could be that it goes completely as normal, but not all the Jedi are killed. A large portion of them.
Is that would
Are-
that
are
consider a fail if it
Yeah.
goes off and their
mean-
chips don't work?
Well, I would say everything goes completely as normal. The clones turn, but like a large chunk of Jedi's sense it and they're not killed.
Mm.
So would that be considered the failure that we want to go with, or do the chips fail?
I want to go
in
with the
some
chip
capacity?
fail.
Or the other one that I was thinking about is Order 66 begins, but then Anakin doesn't turn.
Well, that has nothing to do with Order 66.
Yes, it does, because he led the attack on the Jedi Temple. And if he didn't attack the temple, there would have been a lot of people, including the younglings that we all like to talk about here, except for me, because I don't applaud the killing of children. It's fine.
You'll get there
We
one
don't
day.
applaud. We just
We just want to know what
are
happened.
fond of the scene.
Okay, I don't know about.
Yeah.
We just want to see
So-
it. But
So
but
I guess we need to decide on what is the failure that we're gonna go with.
okay, so
Well, we
my
can't do each possibility. We listed 3 ideas. We could do.
okay, my thing is though with the Anakin thing, would he do Order 66 if Anakin didn't turn? Because he did that after he already knew Anakin was turning, right? So would he have done it if Anakin didn't turn? That is my question. Because his plan was to do it, but he would have had to get rid of Anakin then.
But that's the other thing. It's like, what happens if Order 66 is enacted, but then Anakin decides to kill Palpatine?
He wouldn't
So
have
all of a sudden,
acted though. You mean after he already called the order? Because he called the order after Anakin was already. He told Anakin to go to the Jedi Temple. Then he called it, right?
Yeah, he became Darth Vader before Order 66 was
Was announced.
was transmitted. So
So my question is, would he have done that if Anakin wouldn't have turned?
I think so, because the whole point of Order 66 was to kill the Jedi, not to have an apprentice.
Yeah.
So
Well,
each
yeah,
aspect is
but-
part of Palpatine's greater plan, but I think that
Or here's another thing. Here's another possibility I didn't think about. I guess this doesn't technically imply that Order 66 failed, but like, what if Mace Windu had actually succeeded, and they ended up killing Palpatine in his throne room, or in his office, whatever you want to call it, and then Order 66 never happened?
that wouldn't be considered a fail because it
No,
didn't have
because
a
it didn't
chance to-
happen.
Can you imagine if the clones, we just have millions of clones, and then one person accidentally says the words?
Like you see the meme where it's like a restaurant, it's
Yeah.
like Order 66 and there's clones in
And
there.
then
And
they
all the
just-
clones
Oh!
just turn, yeah.
But also, you could also, what if Fives, when he was trying to figure out the whole biochip thing, like actually figured it out, what it meant, what it was for, and then revealed that, like, is that an aspect of what if it failed? Because
I would say, to keep things simple, it would have to be enacted first,
Correct.
and then it didn't work,
yeah,
to narrow down the possibilities.
and that's why I think the Anakin thing's not really a possibility.
Yeah, so I would say we should stick with two things.
We can
One,
stick with the two.
if the chips didn't work, and two, if a large number of Jedi sensed it and were not killed. And I'm talking like at least a few hundred, like a sizable amount of Jedi.
Yeah, not 4 or 5
Right.
or whatever the number is.
Like, I'm talking like some Jedi Master, maybe a few members of the Council, obviously Yoda.
Well,
know,
Yoda did
like-
sense it, but if they all sensed it, like Yoda sensed it, essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was wondering, like, on that first initial day of Order 66, how many Jedi were actually killed, and then how many were later than hunted down because there's 10,000 Jedi.
Well,
That's
the thing that we have to talk about here, that we would have to address at least, is the sense of time. Because it's like, the different
Well,
planets have different times, and
exactly.
there are different parts of the
We were
galaxy.
talking about
So-
that on Friday.
Yeah, but there's still a standard.
They were all given that order at the
Thing.
same time, right? Or no? No, they weren't.
Well,
It
for
was
the most part.
broadcasted at the same time.
There are specific ones to specific people, but then there's general ones. But I think that the initial broadcast and the first standard cycle, whatever they call it, like the initial enaction of that, how many were killed, and then how many Jedi then had to be sought after. So of the 10,000, did literally 900 or 9,900 get killed that one day initially, and then it just there was 100.
We're talking about if it failed.
Right, but you were talking about of how many survived. Well,
Yeah, I would
it's
just
possible
say
that 400 did survive after that first day.
No,
So,
you know what I'm saying. Well, let's just assume that Order 66 happened. All the Jedi, except for a few, a small number. I'm talking 20 were killed, right, in the original Order 66.
Mhm.
But instead, there are 500 left, including Master Yoda, obviously, Obi-Wan. Anakin's still a crispy boy. Ki-Adi-Mundi. Let's just say the Council, the Jedi Council, and then a few hundred more. So let's go with that. Okay, so
Let's start with
first
that
scenario.
one. Start with
Yeah.
that one.
So first scenario, Order 66 happens, and we've got 500 Jedi that didn't get killed. So we went from 10,000. We went from a vast number of Jedi. Now we're down to just 500, including the Jedi Council. They're dispersed all over the galaxy. I would imagine that most of them at that point are in hiding, right? Because they wouldn't be able to kill all of their troops at once. You know what I'm saying? They would have to find a way to go and hide. And then I would imagine that they would rally together. They would find a way to rally together. So
They would
we
find
could say,
a meeting point.
right. So it could be that Obi-Wan and Yoda. So everything would happen the same way, right? The Jedi Temple would be destroyed, unfortunately. Anakin turns, Mace Windu's killed. All of that happens as normal. But then what I think would happen is that Obi-Wan and Yoda would then change the signal. Instead of warding people off, they would use an encrypted code to send the Jedi to a specific location. Or would that be too risky? Would they communicate through the Force?
Well, the dark side would have been so strong that they would have been so clouded they wouldn't be able to communicate.
That's true.
True, and Anakin probably could
so-
have picked it up too.
Yeah. So I would say they would use an encrypted code to send them somewhere. Now, where do you think they would meet?
Naboo.
No, it would be
The,
Outer
the
Rim.
Chancellor's home planet?
Yeah, the one place.
They wouldn't look.
Yes. The one place they wouldn't look, they would all go to Naboo, where all those cows or whatever those things are, they would go sit in the field and have a huddle.
roll around.
Roll around, and they would
Okay.
just
All
have a
right.
huddle
I hate
of
this.
500 Jedi, and they would just be like, "All right."
Well, it would definitely have to be a hidden place that only the Jedi know of. So it would be a hidden planet, or it would be.
Maybe that temple in the
Octu.
Mandalorian. I was gonna say,
Tython.
Tython? Yeah.
yeah.
So it would have to be some ancient place that has been long forgotten that only the Jedi would remember, or maybe only the Council would know of.
Now, what if it was Dagobah?
Dagobah.
That would.
I mean, because we know it's a planet shrouded in the dark side.
So
It
that'd be
is?
like the one place
Yeah,
that
Did I
sounds
know
like
that?
that's why Yoda went there. Is because it's got a high concentration of the dark side, and he was able to hide that way.
Ooh,
I
Did you,
I
Didn't
never
y'all didn't
knew
know
that. No.
no.
That's why he picked. That's why he
Is
picked
that
Dagobah.
is that an EU thing?
No, it's a canon thing.
Where does it say that? Like in a book? Like what
I don't
book?
remember. Like it's a widely known fact.
Oh, okay. That's
Okay.
dope.
Come on.
I'm down.
Everyone in the in the chat, please
Pick a
please back me
planet.
up.
Oh, yeah.
well,
back
someone already said Ilum,
Ilum.
Mithron.
Yeah,
said
but they
Ilum.
already knew about them because
Yeah.
within 5 years they're already turning it into
Mithron also
Starkiller base.
vouches for me.
Who?
I would say Dagobah, Mithron.
Okay.
I would say Dagobah.
Dagobah wouldn't be a
Because-
bad place because then they could hide underneath their
Yeah.
noses, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, if Yoda was able to do it, I mean,
But
where else-
500's
where
a
else-
lot of people.
Yeah,
But,
like where else in the galaxy you're going to be able to have 500 Jedi concentrated and not like Palpatine not be able to sense it?
the Dune Sea and Tatooine.
Well,
The Crate Dragon's cave. on
Yeah.
Tatooine.
Riley did say that they could hide inside the Tauntauns.
Ooh, I'm down.
So okay,
That's
but
a
anyway,
lot
so
of dead
we agree,
tauntauns.
we agree that they would rally together.
Yes,
Okay,
but where? That's tricky. They could go back.
I say Dagobah.
We'll go with Dagobah. Either way, it's just a planet that wouldn't
Okay,
be
so
knowable.
I think they couldn't go to a Jedi temple or a Jedi place because
No,
I feel like Palpatine
second-
would be able to find them there.
yeah. The second Palpatine found out that so many Jedi weren't killed, he would use Anakin and be like, "Yo, where the temple is." Now, to be fair, Anakin was never given the rank of master, so there would be some
Correct.
secrets that he didn't know. But it's like, you know,
And I don't-
ooh,
What?
Mithron said Waylon. That's a good option.
What?
Please,
No. What? Should I know what Wayland is? Drew, do
from
you-
the Expanding Universe Thrawn trilogy, it's the planet.
Oh
where the
yes,
Emperor
yes,
has
yes,
his-
yes. Well, he
his
hasn't read
storehouse.
that.
No, but we talked about it on the podcast.
We did? When?
Yeah.
We literally went through the graphic novel adaptation.
Oh, yes, we did.
that- Oh,
That's fine.
yeah. I forgot.
Anyway, so we're gonna go with Dagobah. They end up on Dagobah, and then obviously they have a little meeting. They're
Little
they're-
huddle.
Okay, wait,
They're saddened.
before this happens, does Palpatine establish that the Jedi are enemies
Alive.
of the Empire? That the Empire has now become established, and is this
Oh yeah,
going through?
I feel like-
all
it
this
happens,
is
it
happening.
happens the same. Yeah, it
I
happens
think
the
that
same
would be
thing.
the same. My question is, Andrew, are the clones that? So you think it's not that they didn't work? It's that they were just able to kill the clones that were supposed to assassinate
Correct.
them and leave. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, so think about Yoda in Revenge of the Sith on Kashyyyk, where he sensed it and was able to
Yeah.
kill
Yeah.
the clones before
Before
they
they're
killed him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would imagine that the Palpatine thing, like him being like,
You know what that
they left-
means?
they-
Doesn't that
they
mean
left-
that Rex would have died?
not necessarily. That would have happened the same way too. Like
Oh,
if you
true.
think
Because
about it,
Ahsoka was the one
galaxy-wide,
that saved Rex.
correct.
All right.
It would
so
be everything would be the same.
Would Ahsoka be at this meeting?
Yes, she
Sure.
would be. She'd be the person that would lead them all. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Oh, okay.
And not Yoda.
Not Yoda or Obi-Wan.
Yeah, well, okay. The Jedi fell under his leadership. They need new leadership. Vote him out. Like, she's an outsider that has a new perspective
This
on
is
trying to
aggressive.
reform.
This is
So-
on the border of heresy at this point.
Yeah, that's a little. You're going
You
down a
don't-
path.
You don't put
I
the
can't
blame on
follow.
Yoda at all for what happened to the fall of the
Oh.
Jedi.
Yo, Mithron Nuru says Merkur, the planet with the Ysilamari, but that's also from the Thrawn trilogy, and it's anyways. Okay, so yes, Ahsoka's there. She meets up with him on Dagobah. Palpatine still does the spiel where he's like, they made an attempt on my life. I've been scarred. They're traitors, but here's the twist: they're still out there. There's still a bunch out there. So we need the Republic's help to identify them. If you see basically he sets up an intergalactic tip line. And he's like, if you see anything, let your local clone trooper garrison know or whatever, yada, yada, yada. So Now they're hiding, and the entire galaxy is after them. So then my thing, I think they would be emboldened to make a direct attack on Palpatine in the Capitol.
No question though. Where is Grogu during all of this? Is he with the 500?
We don't know where Grogu
Yes,
was.
I mean
Okay.
he has to be because he lives.
Yeah, but
Well, yeah, but he lived
We don't-
before.
yeah,
and
we
or
don't-
he was successful. So like, how did he get?
we don't
There's so
know.
many
You're
specific
asking.
questions.
What are we doing with this question? This is too complicated. This is like a 4-week.
No, it's not complicated.
No,
Look,
you're
they're
making
all-
them just.
they're together. All right.
They're
The
all
galaxy's
huddled up.
against
They're
them
sitting like this,
Yeah.
meditating. All 500 of them
in the Force.
in the forest.
So listen,
Andrew
so
named
they-
off all 500 Jedi. Go.
No, I did. You just didn't hear me.
Oh.
I just did it. Yeah, I just did it. You guys just missed it.
Jeremiah talked over you. Got it.
Right. I was doing it the entire time he's talking about Grogu. So then they have to mount an attack on the Emperor, and they have to remove him from power. But here's the thing: the galaxy thinks they're traitors.
Yeah.
So what they have to do is before they enact this plan, they also have to get evidence that the whole galaxy was betrayed.
Well, so the evidence would be Ahsoka is there, so she knows what happens, and the Bad Batch would know what would happen.
We can't
So-
assume that they would be there right away.
Okay, so the rendezvous of 500 Jedi, how long does that take? Well, because you said Ahsoka's there, so like she knows what happened, knows about the chip,
Yeah, but they have to prove it to the Republic.
right?
And
but they,
and it can't come from the word of a Jedi or someone who was once a Jedi. Like it can't. It's
so
like
then how do they
it's-
prove it then if the
they
Jedi
have,
is
they have to get evidence. So they have to get recordings. They have to find recordings from the night that he was arrested. They have to think outside the box and get recordings from the. I mean, they have recordings from the Jedi Temple too. Not that
True.
it technically proves anything, but it's evidence. And then, I think that Obi-Wan follows the lead that he and Anakin almost found out when they almost found out the plan about the Kaminoans and the cloning in the Clone Wars before they were thwarted.
what, the chip? You mean?
Yeah, but like they investigated Sifo Dyas. You remember there were a few episodes
Yeah.
where they investigated in
Yeah.
the Lost. I think it was in like the Lost episodes season.
I think there was 2 episodes about Sifo Dyas. But
Yeah, and like Anakin and Obi-Wan almost figured the whole plan out, but Dooku stopped them.
right.
Yeah, so I think Obi-Wan would follow that up. I think they would compile the evidence, and they would release it galaxy-wide right before going to take out the Chancellor.
So
Because you cause confusion. You cause enough confusion, and they
But
can
he-
slip in.
But
during
here's the problem.
confusion.
Like, sure, they say they succeed and they kill Palpatine. Like, but the clones, there's still millions of clones that are still programmed to kill Jedi.
You're jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead. Listen, the next question would be, how do you get the Republic to believe an anonymous message? That's easy. You get senators who are sympathetic to the cause beforehand to come out and back the message as being true.
So, Bail Organa and Mon Mothma.
Yep. And there were, I'm
And
guarantee there were others. There were probably others.
Maybe.
Yep.
We'll
Jeremiah,
go-
you,
we'll go
you
with
look like
it.
you're not having fun at all.
I don't know. There's just so many aspects, and like I don't know. Like,
It's a lot to go through. I'm still trying to think of everything right
but the
now.
question is, do you think because in episode 3, in the Senate chambers, we see the ET alien species. What side did they fall on? Were they on Palpatine's side, or were they on Bail Organa and Mon Mothma's side?
They were sympathetic to the actual Republic.
That's what's important, because in the movie E.T., and when he has like the thing over his head as a ghost. He sees Yoda costuming. He's like, hey, like I know that guy kind of. So like I think the ET species
Or
had a
part.
good relationship with Yoda, like
All
the
right.
Wookiees.
All right, well, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah. So I think that the Jedi forces would be divided, and part of them would be used as a small invasion force to get past the guards, and the strongest of the Jedi, I would say like 100 of them would go and take down Palpatine.
You don't
And it would
think
be like a
that some of
super.
the
It would be like a
Jedi would
super epic
just give up
duel.
and go hide?
No.
Not if they had enough people and they had something to rally behind.
True. Yeah, I think now who would be part of that group to go? Who would be the main core of the group to go take down Palp? Give me your top 5, both of you.
I mean, it would be members of the Jedi Council.
Like just them.
I mean,
Well, we
Mace
gotta know
Windu's-
that
Mace
we know
Windu's gone.
four of them were killed.
Gone.
So
He's
So
gone.
it would Ayla Secura, Kiadi Mundi, Yoda, Obi-Wan. Who else?
Yep. That guy with like the snake body.
Yeah, Jarl Poof. No, that's not Jarl Poof. Jarl Poof is the guy that has the Q-tip head.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a Kaminoan, but not a
Yeah.
Kaminoan. Q-tip head.
Oh yeah, Fisto. Thanks, Daddy Palps. Everyone is saying in the chat that the Jedi wouldn't do it. They wouldn't have. a
Yeah,
plan.
that's what I was saying. That's what I was gonna say. A lot of the chat are like,
Why would they give up?
we're giving the Jedi too much credit.
Why would they give up? Though? That doesn't make sense at all. Why they would give up?
I think it's because the Jedi in themselves are too. They didn't want the war to begin with, and so they'd probably think
Yeah,
to themselves
but
like
they
maybe
don't-
the best way is to go into hiding and get stronger and then take down Palp later. I think that's what they're implying.
I don't think they would be happy with letting a Sith rule the galaxy.
True. I honestly think that Ahsoka would be part of the 5 to go take down Palp.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, I feel like Ahsoka would actually be a bigger, like, robe maker than maybe we would think, because I feel like she would be so... If she knew that, like, all of them were... Like, if she knew Obi-Wan was alive, I feel like that would bring a different dynamic to her trying to take down Vader. Now, that's another question, though. Like, Vader is still out there, too. And it's not just taking down Palp, it's also taking down Vader.
Well, that would have been a lot easier right away.
Because he's... Why would that be?
Well, because if you get him, like, it was a known fact that, like, he just wasn't used to his suit automatically.
True. But
You know what
my
I'm saying?
my
Like-
thought is Obi-Wan thought he died.
Well, sure.
So
But
would
where
they
would
even
Vader
know?
be? Where would Vader be? He'd
With-
be near Palpatine.
True, that's fair.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
if they go
Like,
to
right
try
at the
to
beginning.
take down Palp, they would see Vader and
Yeah.
take him down too.
And that's the thing, like even in the Darth Vader comics, like right
Yeah.
after he goes and fights I don't remember his name, but there's a Jedi master who took the Barosh vow and he exiled himself,
Yeah.
and like Vader gets smacked hard.
Yeah.
Like he gets beaten, and the only thing that saves Vader and allows him to win is that he takes advantage of the Jedi's passion for innocent people, and that's how he wins. But like hand to hand, like lightsaber to lightsaber, he destroys him. And so like Vader was really weak early on, and that's the other thing. Like as the Jedi, you wouldn't be able to just go away and let it sit,
You would have to do it quick.
because Palpatine would the longer they waited, the more like layers they'd have to go through to get to him. It would have to be done quickly in the confusion of turning the Republic into the Empire before everything was solidified.
I would also like to imagine that Ahsoka, because she found out about the chip with Rex, she could potentially have a own group of Jedi go out and try to get clones to be good too.
Sure.
Like that would be really cool to like maybe they go to the cloning facility and start taking over clones.
And they put in some nano droids in the water system, and
Yeah.
They could do that.
heard it here first, folks.
So then, if they defeat Palpatine, how would they handle the clones? Would they do some sort of a broadcast and like be like, Order 66 psych? You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's been canceled. Order
Yeah, it's been
66.
canceled, you know what I'm saying?
We ran out of the meat. It's been canceled.
It'll be Order 86. Could you eat 86 something? You never heard that? Oh.
Nope. But you know what?
Like if
We
you're
flew
out
with
at
it.
something at a restaurant, you say 86 the ribeye steaks because we're out.
I've
You-
never
Oh.
worked in a restaurant.
That's cool.
I've never worked at a restaurant either, and that's what you
But
say.
you work at a butcher
I'm
shop.
not.
It's not the same. That's not even
It's not the
close.
same.
Have you said it at work?
No.
Okay.
I say, hey, we're out of ribeyes.
That's fair. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What would they do? You think they would get before they killed Palpatine? They'd get him to be like, "Hey, take it back.
I think
get
they
on
would-
the freaking phone and take it back."
I think that the people would have to. The Jedi would have to inspire a rebellion of the people against the clones, and the people would have to capture clones, and then they would have to remove chips.
Yeah.
And if Palpatine's out of the picture, they could just go to Camino and bring him to Camino and use the little thing that we see the little device they use on Crosshair to
Crosshair.
like enhance his chip. They could probably just use the same machine to turn it off.
I would like to. I was gonna say I would like maybe. I don't know if this is canon. I don't know, but I would assume that because on Camino they're able to enhance things. Potentially, there might be a way that they can just have an off switch and turn off the chip.
That's exactly what Jeremiah just said.
No, because he was saying bring them all in and do
you're
all of
talking like
them.
remote, like a remote off.
Yeah. Like, I would like to
Oh.
think that maybe there could be a way to just
Because
turn
it
their
was
chip off.
because it was a biochip. and
Probably
not
not.
like a full. Yeah, probably not.
There's not an app you can download on your phone.
Maybe
and
it's
turn
something
off.
like with like
Nah,
Winter
dude.
Soldier. They just gotta like say like 8 random words and
There's a code.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
you're talking about Marvel again, huh?
yeah.
Anyways, I
Both
think
Disney, same thing.
Yep, true. Same universe. But I would like to think that there potentially is a way that they can shut off them a lot at a time.
Yeah, they just have to hit the central control ship, like in
Yep.
Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good movie.
So, what would be the case if the chips didn't work? So, what if Palpatine does a little hologram thing, but just none of them work?
They just didn't do anything.
None of them. So then Palpatine's plan backfires. He's evil.
I-
Anakin's evil.
I
But it's
just-
literally the two of them versus a
I-
massive army of clones and Jedi.
I could just picture Cody getting the thing. He's a the time has come, Cody, or X66, and Cody's like, hey, does anyone know what Order 66 is? Like, can you go get the manual quick? Like, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Palpatine being like, "Oh crap"?
Have you seen like the how it should have ended things?
Yeah,
Like the one for episode 9.
I
When
mean,
it's
I
like-
have. I don't remember it.
Well, it's like Palpatine with like all the Sith people, like Sith
Dance.
internal
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, before everyone come, like Ray comes up, he's like talking to him, like, all right, guys, we gotta go over this again. And, like the chanting or whatever.
He's
And,
like,
like, they
teaching
just-
them to chant. Yeah.
And they keep screwing it up, and he's like, oh gosh, Brian, you're off. You're off by beats. and like he's just doing that, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't even know what I was saying.
But
What I was saying.
can you
But-
imagine just the horror in knowing that like it's literally you and one other guy versus an entire army of clones commanded by your enemies?
Yeah.
Like how badly that would have backfired on him.
But like, so when Anakin tells Mace Windu, it's Anakin, Mace Windu, then the 3 other Kit Fisto and the other 2. Like, were those the only ones that knew about Palpatine? Or
I think there were people. There were like Yoda
Like-
and Obi-Wan had their suspicions.
Well, they didn't
but
know
like,
though.
but confirmed like, because they didn't tell him, hey, we're going to.
No, because remember it happened so quick.
Yeah,
I feel like
mean
they could've
Obi-Wan
just,
was
like,
on
sent a-
Utapau.
On
Yeah.
their way, they could have sent a text message to Yoda,
Well,
being, hey,
you would have thought,
like,
That would have been the one day that Yoda didn't have his phone on him.
of course, because Yoda is like a Jeremiah and like doesn't check his flip phone. Like he just didn't have it
yeah,
on.
I don't get for some reason I don't get reception in my apartment at all anymore. Like, I couldn't even call my mom on Mother's Day. I had to like Facebook phone call my mom.
Oh, that's sad.
Dang, dude. Well, you know what would probably make your mom happy?
A cup of coffee.
Yep. Listening to the ad from today's sponsor, Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. Check it out. Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor for today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee
He's
and
getting
Tea.
water. Can I go to the
If you don't know
bathroom?
anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. Why not? They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that they have a subscription service that gets those amazing coffee beans delivered to your door on an either weekly, bi-weekly, or a monthly basis. Unfortunately, we're all being negatively affected by this virus right now. But that being said, what a better time to try some new coffee and support a local business. I know they'll greatly appreciate it, and we will too. After all, using the code Empire Radio with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, when you start a new subscription at wesleyandrews.cc, you'll get 50% off your first purchase. I can't think of a better deal. Get 50% off, support a local Minneapolis coffee shop, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
No, I'm good for like 2 more hours, chat. Don't worry about it.
Be right back.
Oh, now Andrew's leaving.
Oh.
Well, now that the podcast is on hold, Jeremiah, should we open these cards real? Oh, he's already back. Never mind.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll
had
take
the-
that T. I'll take that.
They had the whole
The whole ad.
ad.
Typed out twice, almost twice.
My wife got me some water this time.
Ooh, respect. Also, T said it's like when Drew goes to the bathroom, it's like when you're in a road trip and someone always needs to use the bathroom.
Yeah, it's Drew.
Yep, that's me.
Yep. All right. Well, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Get the coffee subscription, or buy merch. Do one or the other because they both help.
Yes. Do you-
Go ahead. Sorry, what?
I was gonna say do it.
Oh, yes, I agree. Okay, so we were talking about if the inhibitor chips failed. I mean, at this point, the word would have to get out somehow. You know what I'm saying? Because Palpatine wouldn't just be able to go, "Oh, the Jedi are traitors," but then like all the Jedi plus the clones are like, "No, we're not," and like. I feel like if the clones still support them, obviously, like they're not. It's going to
Okay,
be much more difficult to
so
believe. So
my
the word
question
would have to
is-
get out.
Does
Yeah.
the clones still support them though? Because now
What's
they're still under Palpatine because he would technically still be in charge of the Republic.
Yeah, but if Palpatine like sent a message to all the clones about Order 66, it failed, and he was like, "Psych, you know those guys you've been fighting with that you probably like a lot? Yeah, they're actually traitors." And then the clones would have to be like, "Okay, but why? Because I've been with Obi-Wan on Utapau for the past like 3 weeks,
Yeah,
and he hasn't done anything."
people would have
treasonous."
heart to hearts. Also, there would be Jedi's that would be able to see like the hologram come through or whatever. So that could be something where they're like Obi-Wan, what is Order 66? What
Well,
is
the
it?
other thing is like if the clones didn't turn, Anakin wouldn't have had the force behind him to attack the temple.
Right.
So
Mhm.
if Anakin attacked the temple, it would like I have to wonder.
He probably wouldn't.
I don't think he would have gotten very far if he did.
No.
I
Well,
mean, Anakin's
because
super powerful, but I think without the clones,
the clones would
if it was
probably
just him-
see that, like the clones. I feel like some of them are probably like walking around the temple, guarding it just in case, like whatever goes
they
down.
had temple guards for that.
Yeah, if you need
Sure.
clones to protect the Jedi Temple, you got a pretty bad rap as Jedi.
True, but yeah, that's fair. So yeah, I guess the temple guards would probably handle Anakin right away, and then Master Skywalker, they would just start coming out with their Jedis and saying this.
There's too many of us. What are you going to do?
Oh.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So I feel like in that scenario, it would end pretty quickly. Palpatine would not. He'd probably take the first flight out to the clone facility and be like, why didn't these ships work? Probably file a lawsuit against them because they didn't build them properly. He'd get arrested.
So wait a second. You're saying that he's revealed his intentions. He's now a Sith Lord. He's attempted to overthrow the galaxy. It did not work.
And now
his
he's
first
suing.
Response, and now he's okay. I got it.
He becomes a Karen and returns back to Camino.
I just wanted to
It's
make
like,
sure that we were on the same page. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to
okay,
talk
so
to your manager.
Uh,
right
this
now. Who's
is-
that?
This
Who's in
is not
charge
okay.
of-
I paid
chip
this much
development?
money.
That would have been a really funny Robot Chicken
True.
skit.
Hey.
For Robot Chicken Star Wars, that would have been hilarious.
Yeah. Don't
If
steal.
it hasn't already been done, I don't think
Don't-
it has, but
no.
that would have been really
But-
funny.
Yeah. That would be funny. But
But
yeah,
I feel like he would either run and Anakin would run with
they
him.
would probably run together and try to create a way to throw the government in a different way.
But then they would get caught eventually.
But the question
Or
is, though,
or would Anakin just end up betraying him and beg to come back?
but the question is, like, since Anakin did turn to the dark side technically, but now it's just like Palpatine's not going to be able to train him. Like, does Padme still die of a broken heart, or is
I don't-
Anakin
okay,
more
I don't think so.
redeemable
I
at
don't
this
think so.
moment?
Because he immediately goes, you know the line. You know it. You love it. The "What have I done" line. It's a meme.
done?
Exactly. So he didn't immediately turn to the dark side. He had regret. I think what happened to Anakin is his turn to the dark side was solidified over him killing the younglings and then the Trade Federation leaders. I think if Palpatine did Order 66 and it didn't work, and Anakin didn't completely just destroy the entire galaxy by cutting off Mace Windu's hand, I think there's a good possibility that he would have come back to the light side and been like, I've got a lot of regret, but I still know that what I did was wrong. You know?
Yeah. First of
Because
all,
like
the
it
weight the weight behind him turning to the dark side was that he had gone against the Jedi, and then Palpatine like completely turned the clones against them and started eradicating the Jedi, and he felt trapped.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that he just immediately turned into a Sith Lord. It was very manipulative at the start, and then after a certain point, he was too far in and he couldn't get out, and Palpatine just had him under his
I
fingers.
think if Order 66 didn't work, Anakin would be like, so what do you want me to go do? This is not going to work. And then maybe he'll probably get arrested for what he actually did do and maybe have to face time in prison or whatever that means. I don't think he would ever become like a Jedi. But unless he ended up turning and actually killing Palpatine anyways. Like, if Order 66 didn't work and Palpatine's like, yeah, go kill these kids, and like I have no backup or anything like that, then I don't know what he would. It'd be interesting to see what he does.
Do you think Anakin could have killed Palpatine then?
Maybe.
Well, Obi-Wan wasn't able to defeat, wouldn't be able to defeat Palpatine. So the question
Yeah.
is, So the question is, was Anakin more powerful than Obi-Wan?
Yeah, I would say in raw ability he was.
But Obi-Wan still defeated Anakin, though.
No, because Obi-Wan was smarter. He wasn't as blinded by his emotions. But raw power wise, I think Anakin was stronger. I think if Anakin had actually used his head and focused his emotions well, like I think he would have been more powerful than Obi-Wan, but what happened was he got super prideful and super angry and let his emotions blind his thinking, and then he did the one stupid thing that you never jump in a fight. I don't care who you are. Don't jump. Like dude, that was one thing when I was doing martial arts and we were learning how to do jump kicks. My sensei was
Weird
like,
flex, but okay.
these are cool. These look really cool. Don't ever do them in an actual fight if you get in a fight. And I was like, wait, what? He goes, yeah. Because the second you do, you create an opening, and anybody that knows what they're doing is just going to swat you out of the air. So, or you get your arms and legs cut off, and you end up on the banks of a lava river. You know?
Did he actually say that too?
No. But you never jump in a fight. You know? Keep
Yeah.
your footing. What Anakin should have done is he should have just hopped onto the bank and tried to fight his way up from there.
Well, what he should have done is force pushed Obi-Wan off the raft in the lava pant thing, and then
Yeah, you could do that. Sometimes Force users have force barriers, though, that you have to break. That's a thing. That's an actual thing.
that might be true because in Jedi Fallen Order at the end when Vader fights what's her face,
Yep.
she put the shield up.
Yeah.
Sarah, that's her name.
So yeah,
Yeah.
So, do we answer the question, or
I think we did as well as we could, the three of us together. But I would really like to see a bunch of Jedi try to take on Palpatine, and I mean, to be fair, I think Yoda could have taken him.
if they were on like flat ground?
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah. And Yoda wasn't being completely overwhelmed by the dark side at that point. Yeah, I think he could have. Because like he had him on the ropes. He did. For a
Yeah.
little while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
I still don't understand why Yoda like fled after he fell. Like he could just
because he
stay down.
realized it was more important to save himself in the moment than trying to fight it out and potentially losing his life.
Well, I think he probably also knew he could probably tell enough in the future that he'll need to be help for these kids at some point.
Yeah. Because if anybody was going to help rebuild the order, it would have been him.
Yeah.
You know?
I know Jeremiah has little faith in Yoda, but
Yeah, Daddy Pops says, I firmly believe if Mace had trained Anakin, he never would have turned. I agree. And also, if Qui-Gon, we talked about this, but if Qui-Gon had trained Anakin, he never would have turned.
yeah, if Mace wasn't.
Why Mace?
Well, because Mace. So, fun fact, do you know about Mace's fighting style? Vapad?
Is it something like he uses the dark side or something?
He does. He dips his toes into the dark side and fuels his anger and his rage into the fighting style to be super aggressive and overwhelming, but he doesn't succumb to the dark side. Which is further proof that people like Expanded Universe Luke, who've been to the dark side and come back, or Starkiller or Revan, that's why they're so powerful. But anyways, so he was already used to understanding the dark side and understanding the dark parts of yourself, but not succumbing to it. And I feel like he could have answered Anakin's questions better.
Yeah, but he was too stubborn to train him because he didn't want him. I also think. Do you think that he would have turned if he was able to be a master?
Okay, now,
I'm being real, cause
no, to be fair, if we're talking about the novelization of Revenge of the Sith, there is a good argument to say that he wouldn't have turned. Because in the novelization of the Revenge of the Sith, which is canon, technically, one of the big things that pushed Anakin away was that he was banking on getting Master so that he could enter the secret part of the archives that only Masters could, to see if he could find a way to save Padme. And when they denied him that, it was literally the last string of hope he had when it came to knowledge in the Jedi Order. And that's one of the reasons why Palpatine was able to sway him,
well,
because
and,
he dangled that in front of him.
yeah, well, and I also think that made him not have any faith in the Jedi Order too. I think that Palpatine knew that he wasn't actually going to become rank of master, because Palpatine could see that. Like, if Palpatine was the one that said, hey, like, he has to be on the council or whatever, like, it was up to Palpatine pretty much. Like, he knew that they weren't going to give him Grand Master right away, because that was his idea essentially. So I feel like that was definitely one of the reasons why he turned. And like, besides the fact of being able to figure out, oh, I can save Padme, I think it's more of the fact of, like, he had no faith in the Jedi at all anymore, because he wasn't Grand Master, but he was able to sit in the council. But he was pretty much just there to shut up and listen. Like, he couldn't voice his opinion.
I'm trying to remember. Was the opera scene, was that before or after he was denied rank of master?
Before.
It was before.
Mm-hmm. The only reason why I know that that's so detailed right now is because the chat made me watch it on May 4th. They made me watch it, so
Oh, that's right.
I was able. This movie is very fresh in my mind right now. But yeah, I really think, like, that was definitely a big disappointment for him, because he feels like he was just on the Jedi Council for no reason, essentially. And I feel like if they would have gave him mastership, they would have gave him full trust. And even besides the Padme thing, I mean, the Padme thing would have helped a lot, but I think it's more of, like, it would have made him trust them more, because he was able to know everything. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, like, when he found out that Palpatine was the Sith Lord, he would have been even more inclined to make sure that Palpatine was arrested or killed in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just. But I feel like we answered the question. I feel like we answered the question in the longer in the other way than probably the way the question was given to us. But yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, I just really want to see a bunch of Jedi fight Palpatine.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
You know, like in a big battle. That would have been really cool.
That would have been cool. Besides just Yoda flipping and throwing seats at him.
Even though that was impressive. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, chat, if you want to leave us a voicemail and give us your thoughts next Tuesday, that'd be cool.
Or anyone else listening to the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Give us your thoughts. Ask us a question.
Yeah.
Just say hey.
People in the chat are saying, man, I hate Yoda. And Jeremiah is giving him a thumbs up. And yeah.
I never said that.
Just kidding. But, all right.
Anything else, boys?
No.
Nope.
Cool.
Make sure. Oh, I was going to say, make sure you tune in on Friday for the Bad Batch breakdown. If you are listening to that.
That's actually what I was going to say too.
Oh, well.
I was going to say, just a reminder, we're streaming on Fridays,
Mm-hmm.
8 Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be doing deep dives into the episodes as they come out. We are streaming every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, or as close to it as we can possibly get. on twitch.tv/Empire Radio. Yeah, we're on social media. Go back to the beginning of the episode. All of that information is there. But here's one extra shameless plug. We do have merch now. And if you would like to purchase the merch, it is EmpireRadioTradingPost.com. EmpireRadioTradingPost.com. So go check that out. It would be super helpful to us and to what we do here on the podcast. So if you want to support us, it's a great way to do so. But last but surely not least, you've been listening to another episode of the Empire Radio Podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the force be with you.
Always.
Always.